Hello guys, this is Uncle Big Fish, and on today's video I'll be explaining a couple things. But first of all, as I said before on the trailer video, if you haven't watched that, please do watch that one. We do have a lot of announcements on that video, but for this one I will be talking about the Prizepool update and also a couple things about the rules and regulations and some extra announcements that I haven't included on the previous video on the trailer. So please do watch that video first. If you've watched that one, then you can come back, or if you've already watched it, then you can just go on. Alright, let's get started. The first one will be the Prizepool update. This will be all the donations that we got since the trailer until today. I want to personally say thank you to the Armageddon group for their extremely kind and generous support for the tournament. Thank you so much. I think that the majority of the donations do come from the Armageddon group. So again, huge thanks, and well, we can't really do this without you guys. I also hope that this will give people the incentive to actually donate for the tournament, because we're actually still about $350 to $400 off from the mark at $1,000, and I think the big issue here is the conversion. Like, this might be coming a little bit skeptical from a lot of you guys that the end result is not exactly as how you guys thought, and the reason for that is because I had to cut it with the conversion rate from the Indonesian rupiah and ringgit all the way to dollars, which is kind of nuts these few days. I think if you see here on the graph, the US dollars have increased by quite a huge margin, and because I convert the money to US dollars the same day that they were donated, just so I don't accidentally change anything in their value, the conversion rates were really high during some times, and it actually caused some of the value to drop compared to it is today. And so I'm very sorry if a lot of people have thought like, oh my god, I shouldn't have donated back then. Don't worry about it. All of your donations are very useful, and we super appreciate what you guys are doing for us. I think the last thing that I want to talk about is if you guys want to donate, I do recommend donating from PayPal and on US dollars immediately, because this will actually be a lot better as we go forwards. This is because PayPal don't really take a lot of cuts, unlike some other the other websites like TRAKTEER or SAWERIA. They actually take quite a huge chunk of the donations, which is quite sad. Like for example, this one over here. So if you see here, actually Yukino actually sent 300,000 Indonesian rupiah, but I ended up only getting 279. And if you don't know, later when we will be when we want to withdraw this money out to the bank, they will actually take a cut as well. And so in the end, you're actually not giving as much as you thought, because the website actually takes a big chunk of it. That's roughly around 10% of the whole value. So that's very sad, but that's about it. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about the official rule set for the tournament. 1. No rushing. A failed attempt will also count. So if you try to rush, even though you fail, you are disqualified. Alright? You try to rush and you're done. There's no re-entry, you don't lose the round, you will lose everything. Alright? You are disqualified, you're gone. Okay? So don't even bother trying, and one, you don't need to, because you can only move away from the starting line at 155. You are allowed to buff, you're allowed to use other skills to proc your passive or do whatsoever. I don't give a shit, alright? This will be on the photo. The photo you can see later on the Discord server. It will be on championship rules. there will be a channel separately that you can open there to check where the photo is. And well, just join a Discord server so you will actually be up to date to everything that has something to do with the tournament. The link will be on the description down below, and you'll also need to join to register. So just join. It's very, very simple. Just join. All right. Breaking this rule will instantly result in the loss of the round. So you're actually not allowed to move away before 155. Next, grab opening capped 1 time per round. So a lot of people have been asking me, Uncle Big Fish, is it allowed for us to grab open? Yes, you are allowed to grab open, but just once per match. You're only allowed once per match. Breaking this rule will lose the rule breaker the round. So please do remember, you are allowed to grab, but only once. And this will be the last bit of thing. A single rematch is allowed should an extremely noticeable bug occurs during the match, one that can be seen even from the viewpoint of a spectator. So, if I can see it, if the viewers can see it, then yeah, I will instigate a rematch. But if it's something because of your internet, because of something that's only happening on your device, then we can't do that. I will be the sole person to decide whether or not there will be a rematch or not. And believe it, by God, I'll be very non-biased. I'm a very, very fair person. Come on, you guys know me, right? It's not gonna be an issue. This should be it for the rule set. It's actually quite simple, guys. The rule set is not complicated. It's very, very simple. All I need you to do is not be a little bitch, all right? Just play fair. Don't try to get a tactical advantage. You don't need it, okay? This is a tournament. This is a championship. It's not a fucking gang fight, all right? I think it's quite fair. Next will be the format of the tournament. This will be the format of the tournament as you've seen on the screen. This will be whatever's gonna be happening from day 1 to day 4. Next, this will be something very important. We are finally announcing that reservation slots are now officially open. If you want a guaranteed place in the tournament, you want to register and you want to save a slot for a friend, for a guildmate, for whoever, I don't care, alright? You can do that now. Because we really don't know how many people are joining, and we think that the time of registration will be a little bit slow later on as the time of the registration opening and the tournament is kind of short. So because of that, we thought that this will be a good idea. It's going to be a good time for us to reserve the slot now, just so we have a rough idea of how many people are joining the tournament. We do have a 64 people roster, but we don't know how many of you are actually joining. So if you want to join the tournament, you have set up your mind. I said, you know what, regardless of the class ban list, I will join with whatever class it is at my disposal. You may reserve a slot now with one of our staffs, the registration staffs, Burn. This will be the person you want to talk with later on in the Discord server. Whenever you have a registration question, a registration issue, you want to register, you want to reserve a slot, please do let him know. This is the person you need to find in Coral Reef, in Shark Playground. I'm getting my names all mixed up, so sorry guys. But well, to be completely precise, basically the class ban list is not revealed yet. They will be released later on the 28th of November. That is the date of the class ban list. So the class ban list will be revealed on the 28th of November. And then that the same time that video is released will also be the same date of the registration opening. And because of that, if you guys are afraid that you will not get a slot later on, or you just want to prepare, and you don't care about the class ban list, you set up your mind, I am joining the tournament, then you may reserve a slot, how many ever as you wish, to burn from now until probably next week or the week after. Pretty much, registration slots are now officially open. This will be the staff responsible for all registrations. His name is Burn. Look for him on the Shark Playground Discord. That will be it for today's video, and I'll see you guys again soon on the next one. Bye.